today's topic, guys, I'm going to walk you through a few exercises that I think are bad for the lower back. Not necessarily in general for everyone, but I'm saying for those people who've had a history of pain or have back pain right now. I'm Dr. Rajni Patil. Some of you already know me. I am a spine and sports physiotherapist. I've been practicing for 19 plus years. It's almost 20 now. This exercise tops my list of exercises not to be done, and I want to spend some time on it because there are some people who think that अरे ऐसे कैसे crunches तो करना ही चाहिए, नहीं तो core कैसे strong होगा. Okay, here's my take on it. When you do crunches, what exactly are you working on when you are doing crunches? Do you know the anatomy? Do you know which muscles you're working on? When you do crunches, if you do a crunch correctly, then you are working on your rectus abdominis, which is the muscle that sits like that. Okay, an abdominal muscle that sits like that. That is the muscle that you should be working when you are doing a crunch. Unfortunately, a lot of us, because we are not so much. Now, if you are a weightlifter, if you've been an athlete for several years and your back has never troubled you, please go ahead and do that exercise. But I have seen too many people getting hurt with crunches, and it can be neck pain, it can be forward neck pain, it can be upper back pain, lower back pain. Okay, and the reason is this. I'm going to demonstrate the exercise so that you understand where I'm coming from. When you do a crunch, what are you doing essentially? You want to work these muscles, correct? Now, when you are lifting up from a crunch and you're trying to come up, most of the time, if you have not activated or if your functional foundation of the core is not strong, then you're going to use your neck and shoulder muscles in order to lift yourself up. You're not really engaging that much of your core. Even if you are engaging your core, you might be getting a lot of strain through here. Okay, and the worst one is to do like a even this, it falls in the same category, by the way. So if you're lifting up like this, or if you're going cycling, the oblique one, unless the muscles have already activated in a foundation way, you are going to use your neck muscles, you're going to use your shoulder muscles in order to come up. So then, and if you have not properly activated your rectus abdominis before you start getting up into a crunch, then all the pressure comes on the lower back. There's one more factor. When you are doing a crunch, you want to also make sure that your pelvis is sort of in a neutral position. So if you are coming up and you're not able to really maintain that neutral, that again puts a lot of strain on the lower back. So I don't say never ever for crunches. Actually, I do say never ever, but the disclaimer is this. If you have very strong core and you have had a very good history of exercise, and you think that you are actually activating the rectus abdominis every single time without the pressure coming on your neck muscles or on your hip muscles, by all means go ahead and do it. But most people are doing it either incorrectly, or they are not activating the right muscles, or they are using all the other compromised muscles. Our core is not just your abdomen, right? So it's also your core is your abdominal muscles, your diaphragm, your lower back, your glutes, all of those make up your core. So I find crunch a very unilateral way to work your core. So yes, you might be, even if you're doing it really, really well, your form is fine, you are still working only on the rectus abdominis. That's one exercise of all these 33 exercises in the core. If you need to do a good core exercise, I would say just shift to a plank. Only do the plank. That will give you a more integrated way of engaging the core rather than doing a crunch. So that was my exercise number 1, that I don't want my people with a history of back pain or current back back pain, or if you even want to prevent back pain in the future, stay away from this one. Okay. If you want to do proper core exercises, then you want to do every single muscle in the core needs to be activated. Every single muscle needs to know what it's supposed to do. And then when you do it, you will be able to do it right. And you will be able to get the results that you want. Exercise number 2. This also, when I see people doing it, and I know that these people core is not strong and they still try to do this one, it makes me cringe. I'm like, oh my god, they're doing that exercise, it's going to hurt their back. I'm thinking that in my mind. Okay, so this is the second exercise. This one, bilateral leg lifts. Okay, now I'll tell you what my problem with this exercise is. I don't have a problem with the exercise per se, but I have a problem with people doing this exercise. Sciatica can come from that, lower back pain can come from that, lot of things can come from that. Why? Because when you are lifting both your legs up, one, your pelvic neutral, you're not able to maintain. If you are very, very careful with maintaining your pelvic neutral and then you do it, like in Pilates, if you have been working in Pilates, this exercise will come at the very end. Okay, first they will make you do a lot of small exercises that helps you get to this phase. But I find people jumping to the advanced exercises when they really should be doing simple exercises. What can you do instead? You can do a single leg raise with nice strong contraction, isometric contraction of all the core muscles, which is the abdominal muscles, the glute muscles, all of that. Make sure you're getting good activation, and then you can do a single leg raise or a bridge. Those are a lot more superior as compared to bilateral leg raise. People will bend down to stretch their hamstrings, to stretch their lower back and their hamstrings. Okay, there is some space for that kind of stretching. Yes, that's fine. But when you do this, you not only stretch your hamstrings, but you're also flexing your lower back. You're bending your lower back. Now, most of the time it might be okay, and you will be okay without an injury. There won't happen, an injury won't happen. But you might never know that injury can happen. The reason is this, that all through the day, you anyway do a lot of bending. You're anyway doing a lot of flexion. Unless it is done in a very controlled way, like yoga mein class mein agar aap kar rahe ho flexion exercises or that kind of exercise, that is done with a certain purpose and intent, and your yoga teacher will also give you extension exercises as well. So it's going to balance that out. But if you're going to do that as a stretch, as a hamstring stretch, don't do that. Replace it with a lying down hamstring stretch. You can do it this way. Okay, that stretches your hamstring, but see, now my back is flat against the floor. It's nicely supported. My back, there is no scope of injuring my lower back. It's supported. And then I can do this for 30 seconds. I'm stretching my hamstring, isolating and stretching my hamstring. Instead of when I do the forward bend, I'm doing a lot of bending forward. And because you're holding that for some time, there is a lot of pressure that builds up in the spine. And we want to avoid any kind of excessive pressure on the lower back. Exercise number 4 is a deadlift or an overhead squat. These to me fall in the similar category of causing back pain, or even like a kettlebell swing. So sorry, that's 3 exercises in one. But let me just tell you quickly why I don't like it. All right, let's talk about a deadlift. So for a deadlift, if you do the form correctly, your weight is here, right? So you're going to pick up the weight from the floor and then lift it up. Now, technique and form is everything. Core engagement is everything. If your form is not right, if your core is not properly strong or engaged before you do this, you are going to hurt your back. So, deadlift is basically what? You hinge from the lower back, and then you go down and lift and come back up, right? And then you might go up. So the problem here is what? One, If you say don't arch, so your back is rounded and you go into a deadlift, that's going to put a lot of strain on the disc. The other mistake is if you arch too much. I have seen people, they go the other way. Hinge करना होता है पर hinge नहीं करते. Hinge is what? Hip hinge. Hinge नहीं करेंगे. They do arching. You see the difference? When you arch your lower back and then you go down, there is so much strain already putting on your lower back, on the disc. And now when you load it up, you just put 10 times the pressure on the spine. And that alone can cause a lot of strain on the low back. Overhead squat, I was going to do. So keeping weight overhead and then going down into a squat and coming back up. Now squat alone needs a very good form, right? You know that squat se bhi you can get knee pain and back pain if you do it wrong. ऊपर से load कर दिया उसको. So what just happens when we put overhead weight? Your spine compresses a little bit, correct? So there is gravitational pull anyway, and then you just loaded the spine from top, and now you're going to do the squat. Unless the squat is perfect form and unless your core is nice and engaged and you already have decent strong glutes and core muscles, the pressure is going to come on the lower back. Okay, the third one here was the kettlebell swing. Ye wala. With the kettlebell. Okay, so this one, I have no problem against the exercise. My problem is form, and if you don't have basic core, it's an advanced one. If you don't have basic strong core, then don't be attempting this. These were my top exercises. Crunches, just to recap, crunches, bilateral leg lifts. Even thinking about that, I'm getting irritated. Then was the standing hamstring stretch, which is bending down, touch your toes. Then was deadlift, overhead squats, and kettlebell swings. I hope this was useful. I hope you have taken away some good things. If you see people with a history of back pain doing some of these things, please correct them. You will be doing a favor on them. And stay safe, keep your back pain, keep your back healthy, make sure you do all the right exercises for the back. Make sure you are taking your back seriously. We need our spine to be nice and strong.